Hi, folks. Welcome back to Critico's Corner. Mitt Romney says he didn't vote for Trump in 2020 election. It's unclear whether the senator voted for former Vice President Joe Biden. I'll be honest with you. I voted for Mitt Romney, and it's embarrassing. Romney says he supports moving ahead with Trump, Supreme Court nominee. Let's see what the junior senator from Utah has to say. Senator Mitt Romney has already cast his ballot in the 2020 presidential election. He did not vote for President Trump. His office confirmed to Fox News on Wednesday. All right, you don't get along with him. You don't like him. You can't stand him. You're the same party. Can't you learn from the Democrats? You need to stick together. Just say, it's none of your business who I voted for, like everybody else says. It's unclear whether the senator voted for former Vice President Joe Biden, but his decision underscored tension with the GOP before the November 3rd election. Yeah, because the old neocons, the old part of Republicans that got him in this mess and gave the Democrats so much power. I mean, they've been the Republicans now for years were bringing a knife to a gunfight. Gun being held by the Democrats. So now Trump's bringing a gun to a gunfight. Yeah, it's going to escalate because these guys have been laying down like chumps. They do nothing about censorship and social media. It's amazing to me. While Republican politicians overwhelmingly supported the president, the party saw breaks in its ranks in recent months. For example, Ohio Governor John Kasich. Yeah, no kidding, because he's mad because he lost the primary. He spoke at the Democratic National Convention. Let's just read what Senator Romney says. I'll say senator because I used to have some respect for the guy, but he's milquetoast. I have stayed quiet with the approach to the election, but I'm troubled with our politics. It has moved away from spirited debate to a vile, fituative, hate-filled morass that is unbecoming of any free nation, let alone the birthplace of modern democracy. Yeah, really? Do a little history check there, Senator Romney. How many dirty campaigns? It's always been back and forth. It's just American politics. And we can go far back as John Adams, his reelection, the second president. Dirty, filthy things that were said in newspapers and vice versa. And the dirty, filthy one with his son, John Quincy Adams, and Andrew Jackson. I remember I saw a picture once during the Jackson and Quincy Adams election, where back then it was very much like the media is now. They're very biased. And if you owned a newspaper, you pretty much went with your candidate. You didn't pretend to be unbiased. And there were giant letters that said whore, W-H-O-R-E, on the front page. Well, come to find out, Andrew Jackson's wife was previously married. And she thought she was divorced. Well, come to find out, the lawyers screwed up and didn't file the paperwork properly. So she married Andrew Jackson thinking she was divorced, and she wasn't. And they called her that in the newspaper. So I don't want to hear lately in our democracy. The president calls the Democratic Vice President a monster. He repeatedly labels the Speaker of the House crazy. He calls the Justice Department to put the prior president in jail. He attacks the governor of Michigan on the very day a plot is discovered to kidnap her. I mean, this guy sounds like a Democrat. And this is the deal. This is what I've been saying all along. Trump is the resistance. He has the entire Democrat Party hating his guts because they're afraid of him, what he might do, what he might clean up. And half, especially the old school Republicans, they can't stand him either. Especially milquetoast guys like Romney. I hate to say that because I used to have some respect for the guy. He forgets the dirty, filthy, rotten things they called him when he ran for president. All of a sudden, he escapes that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Media on the left and right amplify all of it. Really? Considering 75 to 80% of the mainstream media is controlled by Trump haters? The rabid attacks kindle the conspiracy mongers and the haters who take the small and predictable step from temperate word to dangerous action. Intemperate word, when the hell did that ever happen? He forgets again how they made him a monster and a racist and all the usual crap. He's just naive. He believes that the world is is debating on the Senate floor with decorum and, the 1800s. I mean, forget it. Our children are watching. Many Americans are frightened for our country, so divided, so angry, so mean, so violent. We've always been divided. Look at some of the vote totals in the presidential elections. But the thing is, though, social media has amped it up. That's the problem. Social media is the gasoline on the fire. I love this. It is time to lower the heat. Leaders must tone it down. Leaders from the top and leaders of all stripes. Parents, teachers, bosses, reporters, columnists, blah, 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 blah. Lower the heat. Oh, remember that tape that was brought into a speech he gave that 45% of the people don't pay any taxes, so we don't care about them, or they don't care about taxes or something. And he just looked like, oh, well, okay. The guy's got no spine. It's about time Republicans got some spine. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame. Earlier this month, Romney issued a statement that he criticized Trump behavior as part of a broader, more toxic culture. You see some of the crap that used to go on before. My God, there was a lot of crap that went on in Nixon Kennedy just in my lifetime. I mean, it's... remember the atomic bomb commercial against Barry Goldwater? I mean... I'm troubled by our politics, Romney said, as it has moved away from the spirit of debate to a vile, hate-filled morass that is unbecoming of any free nation, let alone the birthplace of modern democracy. I'm just repeating what he said before. Blistering attacks of their own. And he criticizes them all because he's the old-school neocons. The old-school neocons. It's terrible. I think in part, I'm just guessing, of course, this is just my opinion. He ran for president and lost. And Trump has said, even before he ran for president, that Romney choked. He should have been able to win that. Be honest with you, the approval ratings and people better off than they were now are better for Trump right now during a pandemic than they were for President Obama in his reelection. Romney famously faced intense backlash from his own party when he split from other Senate Republicans for calling in additional witnesses and evidence in Trump's impeachment trial. The whole thing was a scam. Absolute scam. He also was lambasted for voting in favor of one of the articles of impeachment brought against Trump in the Senate trial. The extreme conservative and junior senator from the great state of Utah, at Senator Romney, is not invited to CPAC 2020, tweeted Matt Schlapp, who led the organization behind CPAC. He was a standard bearer, and rest his soul, John McCain. Personally, I thought the world as a man of John McCain is just... The old school Republican way of thinking is dead. And it should be. Not brought back because it was more civilized. While they're shooting you in the face, you're saying, please don't do that, sir. It's ridiculous. They did it to John McCain. They, bless his soul, they did it to Mitt Romney. Democrats always do it. The only difference now, why it seems to be more heated up than it was before, is because Trump is fighting back. Finally, someone with an R in front of his name at the national level is fighting back. And they don't like it. Well, too bad. Too bad. It's tough out there. I got screwed over in a local election here by progressives and leftists, and my building got spray painted in because I have a Trump sign on the side of my commercial building. And it's just, that's the way it is with these people. But they've always been like that. Always. Just social media's got them more ramped up than normal. So I'm sad to say, Senator Romney not only didn't vote for Trump, not that it would matter, Utah is going to go for Trump anyway, but the fact that his office announced it when asked. Obviously, somebody leaked it out, which means Fox got a hold of Senator Romney's office so they could confirm that he didn't vote for Trump. And that's the way the game is played. What he gets out of it, I really don't know. What help does it do? Absolutely none. He gets nothing out of it, and it does not help at all. All that does is take maybe 1.5% of the old school Republicans that still think Mitt Romney is a hero and turns them away from Trump. That's exactly what it does, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Anyway, folks, that's the story with Mitt Romney this week. Being a new podcast, I would really, really appreciate the fact that if you could subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers in order to make any ad money so I can buy some more equipment and do a lot better quality YouTube videos. I'd personally appreciate it. Hit that like button would be very helpful as well. And if you could spread the word by sharing this video and any of the social media platforms that you are on. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.